Da, da, da. Hello, friends. You imagine if I started every stream like that. Hello, friends. Welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be doing some ASMR. Bring it all the way up into the mic. Peek out like hell.
Are you on air?
Yes, we're doing a mic ASMR.
That's very, very funny. I would have thought you were on air.
Oh. Okay, I'm looking for
Uh,
a playlist. No
hey
copy.
everyone, how's it going?
Hey everybody, how's it going? This is PewDiePie. And today, we are listen to Yo Mama. Okay, we have some music going. That's kind of good. Good as a jud. I'm gonna set the on-air limit to 2 people right now.
Are you streaming right now?
Yes.
Oh.
So today's stream is going to be about Proxmox, which is virtual machines online. It's going to be about Node.js and some web stuff. And it's going to be about James May because I saw him in James July. Man, I have no idea how this works.
I
Like,
don't know, you better finish that.
I'm just going to be like... I just need to get my head around how the file structures work. Give me a file structure for a node project that serves a HTML page with CSS and JavaScript and renders to localhost 8080. I just don't quite understand what I'm doing. So it's in public. So server.js, which will create, which is like this, my first JS. Let me turn this down. Yeah. So let's call this server.js. And then in public is where we... Okay. So in public we create an index, our CSS, crap. That's what I was thinking. I just, needed a bit of guidance. So index HTML will create a folder called CSS, which inside we will create a file called style.css. And then we're going to create a folder in here. We're going to call that JS. And then inside there we're going to call that main.js. So this is where we'll eventually put our GSAP logic into the animation library we're going to be using. Okay, so next of all, we need to create our server, and we've already done that in here, right? So we probably can just ditch these 2 lines here. Okay, and then in here we want to... Okay. I see. This logic's a little bit different. It's a little bit better. Let's just see how this works. Because again, as I learn more about this, we will learn maybe better conventions than what ChatGPT tends to give us, because it's not always the best. We're just gonna run this on 8080. That can be our dev. Then we're gonna use express dot stat. Okay, we're loading a static HTML from our public directory, and then we need to just give a little bit of feedback to the console and
It's not the
close
riveting
it.
stuff.
Oh man, it is so riveting. Okay, so now in here we've just got...
Pissing my pants with how riveting it is.
Oh, tell me
But
about it,
all
mate.
over the floor of Woolies. And it's kind of warm, kind of relaxing. You ever like piss your pants and it's like warm?
Yeah.
Bit nice warm piss.
What's the
Mum
logic?
wanted hams, so should I get a silverside beef instead?
We're not going to
No,
worry
let's get it
about the
stamped.
JavaScript right now, but we're just going to pop a little style in here.
Did you say the Travis Scott script?
Huh?
That's what I just heard you say. We're not going to worry about the Travis Scott script, right?
No, not the Travis Scott script.
What? Smiths do crackers now, guys.
npm
No, I gotta try these.
in the ES.
What ones though? Go. If you were to try Smith's crackers, would you do cheese, chicken, sour cream and onion, or barbecue?
What's that again?
If you were to try Smith's crackers, they're doing that now. Would you have chicken, cheese, sour cream and onion, or barbecue?
I'll try sour cream and onion first. Cannot get a burger.
No worries. Do you say bugger or your best friend's Bargav?
Bugger. Buggar.
BGBAH.
You know what'd be cool if I like yell out a word at like a certain... Oh, you know
Sorry.
what? You know what I should make? Like with this,
Yes.
because I'm doing like custom screen graphics and stuff. If I yell something, and like it's over like yellow kind of volume in the peak graph, if I yell something, it then like takes in what I've said and then animates it onto the stream, like in real time, to like emphasize. That would be cool. So then I could be like, bum, and then it would just yell the word bum.
And then get AI to quickly generate so it actually shows a bum.
No, I don't want to. I mean, that is kind
Like
of.
if
I
you
do like
yell,
that.
if you yell a prompt like super ultra detailed bum pooing, and then it does
No,
that.
no.
But I
No,
personally,
no.
Alex, I would love to see a really super ultra detailed bum pooing.
No, I don't want to do that. If you're looking at the stream, Ben, as I'm saying no, I'm nodding yes. I'm giving mixed signals.
Oh,
Are we getting...
I'm not looking at this thing.
Why are we getting cannot get? Did I not save
Yeah.
the HTML?
I don't know why, you just sound a lot different now.
No cap.
You say API.
I'm not even doing like API crap. Oh, is it because
Alex, I
I've
think
got...
your mic just changed.
What do you mean?
Oh no, you just sounded a lot different.
Maybe my internet's skitzing out.
No, it's not like an internet thing, it's like a mic thing. Also, I've been having these yummy protein desserts lately. The brand of them, there's like Muscle Nation, there's also Twisted. They're both
Oh,
very
yeah.
good. And they're like healthy and they're yummy. I'm trying a flavor I haven't tried yet. It's chocolate brownie batter. So I'll have that when I
You
get
should.
home.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
It'd be quite yummy.
Ew.
I do not wish to print a receipt.
For any of you guys watching, I am new to front-end dev in this. Web testing.
And also for anyone new, I'm the voice in this game. My name is Ben, but I could know me as Bez. And Bez is my Netflix name.
Rigged! What's going on here?
Rick and Morty.
Set home. It's called index HTML. It's in the public. Wait, where is it looking? Alex documents web testing public. There's no web testing, and then it is in public.
I hope no one's stolen my bike. That would be a really big mood changer if someone stole my bike.
What's going? Why can't it
I
see?
I thought I parked it in a safe.
Oh, I need this to be in here. That's why it's not working, because I had my frickin' file structures messed up. What a noob mistake.
Your bloody file structures, bro.
Okay.
And you even
So now this hello.
sound like a bloody. Sound like someone from like a hacker movie. It's like, oh, got the file structures messed up. Oh, hacking into the mainframe.
Shut up.
They got Washington.
Shut up. Wait, hacking into the mainframe.
No.
I'm gonna make
Oh,
a.
they got the file structures messed up. They hacked into the mainframe. They got Lady Liberty.
Wait, who's?
They got Lady Liberty.
What is this number? Oh, it's them.
I'm actually surprised my bike wasn't stopped. I am
Scam call.
stuck under the gold test.
They got Lady Liberty.
Lady Liberty.
So now, theoretically, we should be ready to.
They got Lady Liberty.
NPM so. Is it case sensitive? Yes, it's case sensitive. What a noob. Okay, so if I go into. If I go into some code pen examples.
Yeah. Code 10 examples, yep.
Shut up.
I'm trying to help.
Why do you
Yep, so
sound?
some code 10 examples.
Yeah, why do you sound so disingenuous about it?
You disingenuous, dense motherfucker. Obviously you have to know something about something or you couldn't tie your shoes.
God, somebody's had something for breakfast.
No, I was just poking Dark Viper. You disingenuous, dense motherfucker. Obviously, you have to know something about something, or you couldn't tie your shoes. Thing is, maybe the guy who Dark Viper was having a go at doesn't know how to tie his shoes. Maybe he never learned that.
Maybe, man. Maybe.
Maybe he doesn't know anything about anything. Maybe he's going to tie his shoes. And who are we to judge?
Okay, let's see if this is actually going to work. Yo! The JavaScript's not running, but we got some lorem ipsum. We got some lozenge ipsum.
Let's say theoretically, there was a man named Java, right? And he has died and got buried in a crypt. What would the crypt be called?
I don't want to know.
Java's crypt. Java's crypt or JavaScript?
Oh, Ben.
Or what if there was a man named Java and he was given a script because he was an actor? He was acting in a movie. It'd be Java's script.
Ben, I don't enjoy that.
Oh, you don't have to, dear boy.
I do not enjoy that one part.
You do not have to enjoy that any parts, dear boy.
I do not enjoy that one part. So we got like, simpler freaking lorem ipsum.
My question to you is, why
Huh?
Wonka do what he does? William of Wonka. Wait, show me your Willy Wonka.
Ben, you can't just
Yeah,
say show me your Willy Wonka.
but I can, and I just did. I don't mean nothing of it. I just say in a phrase. Look, if I say show me your Willy, but you don't feel comfortable showing it, then you don't have to.
You can't.
Also, if you're under the age of 18, don't. 100% don't. It's not directed at you.
That's enough. That is enough. I did
And
not.
it's not a sexual thing.
That is enough. I'm having enough with you right now.
Nah, it's not enough. It's enough when I say it's enough.
You're enough.
Urine?
You
You're
can't-
enough.
You can't say anything to this boy.
Urine enough? What do you mean by urine enough? You're enough? What's enough?
I'll give you
You're
enough.
enough?
Ben, please. Please.
You're enough.
Please, for the love of Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, stop.
But now you know how it feels when your brother is silly on your string. So this is just a lesson. But I'm not going in here, sharing your coordinates
Should. No, you
to
should.
your house and then saying, oh, but it didn't say the street name on the pin. No, but it said it on the fucking street.
So how do we link up? Why is it not? What have I not installed properly?
What's your Facebook?
What do we?
Yeah, I might dip for a bit, okay?
No worries.
See you later.
Like, we haven't installed this properly. Do we need to nest public into node modules? GSAP project file structure. How does this work? So put this in the app.js file. Okay. Where does the app.js file live? Where does the app.js file live? How does this... How does React work? Or do I just... I really don't understand. Where do you save the app.js file in React? Okay, I'm gonna start by turning this off. We're going to create a new folder and we're gonna call it React. And then we're just gonna follow the instructions here, right? So we're gonna go out of there, React. So this is going to create our boiler code React app. And then it lives in port 3000. Okay, we might be getting somewhere now. We might be getting somewhere now, chat. We might not be, but we'll see. Anyway, how was your day? What did you guys get up to? I'd love to know. While I have a sip of my coffee. That's good coffee. I'm kind of sad because I've been watching this YouTube series for the last 50 days. I did skip a few days. Quite a few, I must say. But it's finished. This guy here traveled to 50 states in 50 days. And it was a great watch. Freaking insane the amount of viewers he has amassed from it. 5.1 mil. But you look at each Each video, 2 mil, 2 mil, 2 mil. Average of 2 mil times 50. Yeah, that's crazy. Prepping for uni? Nice. I called up uni today. I'm going to defer again. Happy hacking! Okay, success. You created my React app at this. Inside the university command npm start, npm build, npm test, run eject. Let's just start. Oh, I joined 2 people because I want someone to message me to ask to join, so it doesn't just end up being a ton of people in there at once. What's going on here? I'll hop back in there if you want to join. Code Eno and sys open. Eno and cannot find home Alex documents React package JSON. Documents. But the package JSON's right there. Wait, do you have to start it 2 times? One to generate the file and then one... No? Oh, you sent a chat. Oh, okay. Sorry, I just didn't see it. That's my bad. Okay, let's go through this log. What is... No such file or directory. Why though? The file exists. Right? Documents, React. Oh. It wants it to be one outside of this. It is though. I'm in my... What's the tree command? I guess we can just... Duh. So it lives in my React app. So wants package.js to live here. Then can we run it? No. So when we run... Wait, I'm a dickhead. I'm a freaking dickhead. Okay, now it'll work. I was just in the wrong fucking directory when I ran the command. That's embarrassing. It's been a long day, okay. Okay. We have a successful compiled React instance. Now, why is this significant? What is it we're actually trying to do? Well, my dear friends, I'm trying to implement animations on this overlay, right? Using like, you know, these animation engine GSAP, GSAP, whatever you want to call it. I don't quite know how it's pronounced. My idea, right now, my running idea, is I'm going to have, for different events that happen during the stream, whether it's a chat, or I say something, or I trigger something, or someone follows, or likes, or whatever, I want something to happen on the stream. Now, obviously, things like Streamlabs exists, but I find with Streamlabs, you don't get great control over the animations and the text. And what if I just want like a static thing to sit on the taskbar every now and then? This is all mirrored, like I'm pointing to the wrong direction. Sit on the taskbar every now and then. So I'm like, what if I find a web-based animation engine that I can try to learn and somehow implement that into the stream? And that's what I'm doing here. So my idea is in OBS you can create a browser source in OBS. So let's just call this, say, React, because we're using React. Cool. And then I will have different, so you can see here that's the default web browser up the top over there. Over there. So my idea is I'm going to have different web pages and then have like some sort of listener, like a bot or something. And depending on what action happens on the stream, it'll turn on the source in OBS, because you can connect to OBS. It's got an API. And when the source is loaded, when the browser is loaded, I can have some logic in that website to then maybe go check something, come back with some text, render it on the page, have a nice little animation. Right now, I'm just learning React. Like, I've played with it a little bit. I kind of understand how it works, but I'm very much new to it. So like here, right? So this is the website that you're seeing here, loaded natively inside OBS. Now, OBS runs a version of Chromium. It's a few generations behind, but theoretically, any animations that I do program or kind of configure and test here in Edge, say what you want, Edge is my primary browser. Anyway, I do have like Firefox and Arc, and do I have Vivaldi? Yes, Vivaldi and Chrome and not Opera. Yeah, so anyway, as I was saying, this is a significant step forward because a few nights ago I didn't really understand what the best kind of web technologies were to use. I knew about React, I knew about all these different kind of systems, but I didn't know how best to implement them and if they were going to work for me. Can you guys hear the music now? Yeah, so this step of I know it's a simple thing, deploying a React app, like, you know, all I did was follow a guide, but still, every little step towards your proof of concept or your idea is something. And I like to celebrate the wins, whether they're big or small, with a nice sip of the old coffee. Or I'm still here, I'm just in the fridge. A celebratory can of beer. Maybe if we do something big, that'll be a chug. But anyway, we've got this working. I'm happy. I'm rambling. You're listening. Thank you. If you are new to the stream and you've just kind of come along and stumbled upon this, I'd love to say thank you, of course. And if you want to say something in the chat, ask any questions. I mean, the title is a little bit weird. Proxmox Node.js and James May. I should really change that to say Proxmox React now, actually, because we are using React. Why James May? James May visited my city last night. If you don't know who James May is, oh, I'm going to turn this off. James May is a long-time favorite presenter of mine. He is most well known for being the host of Top Gear and Grand Tour, but more notably Top Gear. And last night he visited my city, as you can see on this Instagram post. That's me. I just bought a ticket. I did not mean to post it 3 times, but I did. Because my phone was lagging out. We're going to delete those. Follow me on Insta. I don't care. Yeah, so he came and did a talk about the history of human exploration. It's kind of something he's into. Probably a spin-off of this TV show of his. And Top Gear, the nostalgia. I know, right, David? So he came and he did a talk. He talked about human exploration through the ages, from the first people leaving the Mediterranean, Mesopotamia Sea, throughout the Americas, the European area, eventually coming down south to good old Australia. And then he went on to talk about through every significant jump in time, there's been one or two explorers who have stood out. The most notable recent one being Neil Armstrong and the astronauts who went to the moon, the Apollo missions, and that's kind of where he left it. But the next frontier, my friends, interactive animations on a YouTube stream powered by React and GSAP. So let's get back into it and stop procrastinating, because that's what I'm good at. And yes, I am handling both a coffee and a beer at the moment. So, where were we? We've got this working. I don't quite understand. So this is this, right? Learn React, yep. Okay, so if we in real time save something. Yes! Okay, this is big. I forgot about React. This is why I played with it before. Because once the project's running, we can do what we want, right? If we save something, it just appears. Now, this is big, because when I was a kid, and I started this whole IT technical journey, you had to do it all statically. And sure, there were ways to make it dynamic. You could use things like IIS. No, is II? IIS, yes, not ISS, that's the space station. IIS is the website thing. You could use things like that, or ASPX, or other things. But for us lowly human beings who couldn't afford a Windows server deployment or didn't know what the hell they were doing, they used a little thing called LAMP. LAMP Stack, which was a Linux, Apache, MySQL, or MySQL for those of you who don't know how to pronounce MySQL, and PHP, not to be confused with just HP. And it was very static. You'd make a change, you'd do something on your website, and you'd have to save, refresh your site, to the point where many people would set up scripts or extensions in their browser to continuously refresh as you were working, which was fine if your computer could handle it, because I had a pretty crappy computer. So to be able to have the ability to work on a website, and as you're typing along, all you have to do is Control S, and your appears. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, I will say. Now, remember what we're here for. We want to implement GSAP now, right? So we haven't done that. We did that in the last folder we're working for, but now we've actually deployed React properly. I'm happy about this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop it so we can clear it out of memory. And I am just going to duplicate this file. Can we just... I don't like the file explorer in here. And yes, sure, we could do... What's going on? What did I press? Oh, it's just copying it. Okay. Why is it taking so long? We are operating on a VM, by the way, guys, so... maybe it's gone to sleep. Live demos, hey? Okay. What is... Okay. So we're just going to call this... We're just going to call this like React backup. Because that way if we do something and royally screw up, we can just revert back to this deployment that we had working. Because restore points, right? Okay, so what are you doing? We're going to navigate to the directory and we're going to install GSAP. But is there a specific guide for React? Is there install and the install helper below with most of those files, namely by npm and yarn, and using a script tag? Pick your adventure or check our install guides in the left submenu. I'm going to check an install guide because, again, I'm not 100% sure on how this is installed. I've never used this kind of library before, this kind of system, right? GSAP and React. It's got its own heading, its own area. Okay. GSAP itself is completely framework agnostic, which means it can be used in any JavaScript framework without any special wrappers or dependencies. However, there's a hook, and this hook solves a few React-specific friction points for me, so that I can just focus on the fun stuff. And then one of these. Use GSAP is a drop-in replacement for use effect, or use layers effect. Or many times cleanup. Cleanup is important in React, and context makes it simple. Okay, so that's how we're declaring it. Import the hook, and you're all good to go. Blah, 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 blah. I like that. So we don't have to define specific components. We can just use GSAP, and then it's contextually aware of what we're pulling. So theoretically, if we just run this, but where? I guess in the root, right? Because we're building the React build. Added 2 packages. Ordered 1,342 packages in 5 seconds. Not bad. 9 vulnerabilities. 3 moderate, 6 high. To address all issues. You know what? I like to live life on the edge. Let's keep those vulnerabilities in there. This thing isn't connected to the internet in any way at the moment, so we might be importing more crap. We'll do our audit checking. This is just a proof of concept, and I'm just justifying my poor behavior at this point. Okay, so what the fuck is Babel? Is that something I need to learn? Babel Web Language. Oh, it's a compiler. I'm not a JavaScript person, but I do love myself a good cup of Java. Using Flavortown. Wait. They're supported by Airbnb? That's sick. Why do I recognize that logo? An American Express and Coinbase? Don't know the others. Oh, okay, yeah, I've just come across some of their stuff before. Nothing fancy. But what is it? Server-side compilation. Okay, so referring back to the documentation. HTML, CSS. Do we have to use Babel? Is Babel a requirement? Wait, did we just install the hook? No, I don't think so. I'm kind of... Like, I understand what it's saying. I understand what it's saying. I don't understand what it's meaning. Okay. So I have to install... Okay, this is what I wanted. npm install. So I do need to have both GSAP and the hook. That's good to know. I'm glad I continued to scroll. Once the project is set up, we can install GSAP, start the project, then import it into our app. Wait a second. Export for possibilities. Maybe it's just saying hours like a colloquial term for... Okay, let's just chuck this in here. Just see what happens, boys. Are you caching? What the fuck? Why are you over there? What's going on? Is this like some weird bug, like caching bug or something? Bro, that is... That is not right. Do I need to save it? And then... do this. And then run it so it can compile? Wait. Maybe that's what it's meant to be. Maybe that's what it's meant to do. Just give us a little hello at the top right of the page, because there is an animation there. Okay, maybe it's working. Maybe I'm just not... Useful patterns, okay. I think Babel's an no. Is Babel a requirement for GSAP? Babel. Okay, so Babel's not a requirement. Okay, because I don't know what that is. In this guy, we'll be using our easiest way to use instrument. This is a drop-in replacement for React effect that will make 100 clean up. Go for it. In React, and this hope makes it simple. Okay. This just answers. This just gives me more questions. Okay. I like this. I'm learning. I'm learning. Okay, let's just see with what we have here. Let's just try to see how we can... Let's just see what we can do. Let's make this a... like some emojis maybe? Some ticks? Oh wait. Oh, it updates it live. Okay, that's cool. I don't even have to hit save. This is some text. And then can we just inject some... big text. Okay. Refresh the page. It drops down. Okay. Okay. We've got like an animation going. It scales to the width of the browser, which I do like. How that's baked in. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Is this useful? No. Let's just set rotation to 0. Whoa. I like how when you make a compile error, compiled with problems. It tells you exactly where your error is. That's really nice. So we have something happening, right? The thing is, though, this is like nothing, right? I wonder how good. Now, I'm not cheating. Well, okay, I'm kind of cheating. Using this like an animation that has a gradient background and emojis flying around a sphere. This needs to live in the app.js file. I think Claude would be a better example, a better LLM for this. It'll be interesting to see if ChatGPT can help us here, because at least I'm going to understand how it's pulling, like the syntax, right? I got to make sure that I clean up, because if we don't, I'm going to freaking use all of the RAM in my server. That's not going to be fun. Alright, let's see what happens when we paste this in. What's going to happen? We've got an animated gradient background, but the emojis aren't moving. They're all just kind of stacked there. The emojis aren't moving. Yeah, Claude has a nicer interface. They're still not moving though. I mean, that does look nice. The emojis still aren't moving. This doesn't actually look too difficult to learn, to be honest. Hey! I like this. So that means that what we could do is in our browser, we can create a browser window here, call it like emojis or something, right? And we could load up this website in a natively sized window. And there we go, we are rendering that inside OBS, which is pretty cool if you ask me. I just need to figure out where to put it in the stack. There we go. So now as we change this website, we're going to see the background change. Make it so emojis are flying around everywhere. Different foreground and background. Make it seem like it's in a 3D space environment. So we can create like cool, just cool like backgrounds. Because we don't have to worry about rendering a video or anything because it's just live. So if we paste this in here, what are we going to get? Okay. It's kind of shit. But like, they're on a 3D plane, which is kind of cool. The way it's morphing them. I wonder if we could like increase... Yeah, this perspective, okay. We can obviously change like the color of the gradients and stuff. We can make this one like a darker red. Okay, now make it so using ASCII characters, there is an animation of a soccer game. Try to emulate a goal. This is going to be interesting. I just want to see what it can do now. What's it gonna do? What's this gonna look like? Did it crash? Oh, I see. It's not like a live... It's doing like that. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Now, what I want you to do is create a rendition of the moon landing. You have the ability to use the full 1920 by 1080 canvas. Include physics and gravity 2. It should run indefinite. I don't know how to spell that word. Well, I do, I just wasn't thinking. Too late. This is going way off topic. I'm trying to just see what we could do in a single file. This is interesting though. So I'm trying to create a rendered graphic of the moon landing via GSAP in React. Okay. I mean, yeah? Wait, there's even sound? No, that's the song I'm listening to. I do like how this is like rendered in real time though, like... It's not anything amazing. Okay, now what I want you to do is create one of those lame 10-second long bowling videos for when you score a strike. I can see a lot of potential in using this for overlays, because I can just have a bunch of scripts and then different things trigger. And because it's all on the web, I don't need to have any videos, nothing's being stored. It's all just JavaScript and objects and SVGs and stuff. Which means we can dynamically change colors and effects and add things and put people's names on there. This could be big. Big for the stream. Did we hit a... Why did that not... Did we just paste in the same... Copy... Paste. There we go. Now, does that live in the cache? Or if we stop the website... Yeah, okay, it still goes. Or did we crash something? Did we actually crash something here? No. Oh. We copied it before it finished. Why is it not reloading? Why is it still doing the space one? Oh, here we go. Why did it not reload on here, though? Why is this browser stuck on here? Let's just crash it. Get it to reload it. There we go. Okay. So what we can do, right, is we can start playing around with our... Why is that not... I don't want a background. Can we just... Yes, okay. So we can change the color to like yellow, right? Text shadow. Maybe like just different shades of yellow. Not pinks. Just like yellow, yellow. Yeah, like a light yellow. Like a more orange yellow. And like a more red yellow as we go further back. Like an orange. I guess these ones are more influential, right? So change that one. And then change this one. So we can say that. And then when we close out of here, what is it? What the fuck? What is this? What is this, like, auto text? Donated. No. Donated $500. No, don't whinge. Is that showing on? Oh, you can see the donated $500 just, yeah. So we'd make that like, next line. New line. Delete that. Let's copy this. Paste this here. So we've got Alex H1. Then we'll go like a H2. Header 2. Then we got compile errors. AI is getting political. Then we got Alex Cohen, but we want Alex Cohen once. So here we put in a... Is it just NL? What the hell? What the... I thought it was just NL. Oh, BR. What? No, we have to define it like this. VR. There we go. Why don't we have it in it? Why are you rendering next to each other? What don't I understand? Why are they alternating? Why is the animation alternating? Man, I'm literally... Break return. Yeah, I know. Why is it not? I thought you could just do this. Obviously you can't. Give me a new line. W3 schools, come to help me, please. Has to be inside. Okay. We're in the same div. So I should just be able to... Man, how is this catching me out right now? I am not this much of a novice. Maybe I am. Why is it not? Why is it not going onto a new line, my friends? Why did it choose pink? Maybe not. Maybe I have to do this. Maybe I have to go like this. /P. And then BR. And then Alex. And then break out of the P. Yo, Benjamin! Why is your head in the computer screen? Why is your head on a computer screen? Wait. Why is your head on a computer screen? Do you like how the the real pop vinyl?
Hello, fake pop vinyl. How are you going? I am a little whistling.
Why is there a random pop? What do you mean? Oh, pop vinyl. I don't know. Do you want to know something really confusing? What is this? Cat loader eliminator. It's literally like miniature versions of the things that went all over Mr. Incredible. You know what, guys? I'm not here for the hate. Honestly. You can't just try BR before the second H2. Dog. I love dogs. I love dogs so much. But now what I'm doing isn't even compiling. What is going on, man? Okay, OBS is maybe what's causing me the issue here. Maybe OBS is caching things weirdly. Let's just try it on an actual browser screen, right? Maybe that's what this has been this whole time. Alright, so. Because this here, when I turn this on, this is like inside OBS's browser. And it's not constantly refreshing, which is an issue we'll address in the future. Now, what did I do before? I made a parrot. Yes, I know that you can't deal with my compilation errors, but do I look like I care? BR is a void element tag and must neither have children nor use dangerous set inner HTML. Okay, so it's not allowed to have children. I don't have children. What's with friggin' React thinking they can police whether or not I have children? Please put this on a new line or else. Because I want to have I'm making like the summon for jury duty. Oh my god! You're gonna be like with the gavel all. I wonder if it's gonna be an interesting case. And also, Ben, you should tell them because they like pay you. Do they pay you? Do they equal you pay? I don't know how that works. But you can be like, oh yeah, I make $200 an hour, please. That's what the judge. In Australia, we don't even have a gavel, mate. So you know, go gavel yourself one. That's what I'm gonna say to you. Not Ron, not Hermione. You have been summoned before. You have been summoned to stand upon the judge and cast your judgment on this poor soul. Actually, I got an idea. I'm cooking. But I'm gonna give you some practice. I'm gonna give you some practice. Can we just like bring up a YouTube video, courtroom? I just want like a full screen picture of a courtroom. Come on, somewhere in this video, surely. Wait, this court's on. Oh, here we go. Ben, we have been summoned to appear before the court. Do you take this man, this lawfully illegal man who's committed crimes, as guilty or non-guilty? Please whack your hammer 3 times if you believe that they're guilty. Your Honor, I can't be guilty. I was at swimming lessons yesterday. Yes, and except for when you want to format text. Fuck, it's been so annoying. Like, I need whoever created JavaScript to come over here. Teach me a lesson. And don't forget, if you're watching this stream and it's your first time here, thank you. I'm going to chuck a link to the Discord. And then he was gone. I'm going to chuck a link to the Discord here. Why is it not letting me paste? I disappeared. What's going on? Is my computer being a little bit hazy? How you going? There we go. Link to the Discord in the chat. Pop that up there, pin it. And we'll pin ya. We'll pin ya. We'll pin ya. Alright, while we mull on this for a while, let's have a look at our analytics. I like to do this each stream because I'm a nerd for the numbers. Let's have a look at our analytics from the last stream. Because I believe... Oh, we got 4 more subscribers. You know, 4 subscribers more. Can't complain. 3 views since it was published. Analytics. Ha ha ha! So we had 92 viewers in the last 48 hours. 95% of those came from YouTube recommendations. That's... Thank you, YouTube. Please keep recommending. It's 17 chat messages. I mean, yeah, cool. Peak of 5 viewers. You know, I've had more. 34 impressions. I hope they're all good impressions. Ha ha ha. But 3,000 actually. Maybe they were the click-throughs. Browse features. What other? Yeah, that's it. Content suggesting this live stream. Greg Tech, New Horizons episode. Why is that? That's so random. Neuro had their first ever meeting. Copilot Studio Beginner. Search and conversational AI in Vertex. Okay. We tested IS Scan Pro. Hey! That's cool. I saw that video. That's what's his name? Something. I forget, but I'm subbed. No, that's Will and E. Okay. I didn't see this video. I saw a thumbnail. It's not the scam products. The couch got me. Anyway, Gringo Loco. Don't know who that is. Sublime text shortcuts. That's random. But yeah, okay, a bunch of just random tech videos and stuff I appeared on. That's kind of cool. That's the audience I'm looking for, and a bit of the weirdos too. What else? Come on. Alright. Let's get rid of that. Back to the project at hand. We have to have a little bit of procrastination. I'm a professional procrastinator. You guys can see yourself out. So, the issue we're facing right now is, for the life of me, we keep seeing double, right? I want this to be a H2, which it's not. So maybe we have to define this a different way. Maybe we need to copy the entire div. That would be weird. But I mean, I've seen weirder. I've seen something a whole lot scarier. Well, let's see it. How cool would it be? Okay, this is a dream of mine that I just came up with. It's a new dream. I just had this dream. You're talking, you're referencing something, and there's an AI listening. Could be a local AI on your system, could be a ChatGPT agent, Claude, whatever. And let's say I reference something like, "Walk around in the pussy," or something like that, you know. And then, it's like you configure this AI, you tweak it the way that you want, and when you reference something, it's kind of like, ooh, Alex made a reference, how fancy. Then it goes and grabs a GIF or a YouTube video and shows it. So like a Copilot. That's dumb. So like if I'm talking and, you know, say something weird, something random, or I could like click a button on the stream deck, right, and say, okay, listen to my next 20 seconds, and from what I say, we're gonna do something weird. Like, I could set myself up for like a random Family Guy cutaway scene. So I could be chatting, could be streaming. Shut up. I'm in presenter mode. God damn it. Yeah, so you could be like talking, hit a button on your stream deck, and then you could be like, oh, this is funnier than the time I went to the shop and I saw a horse. And then like your stream, yeah, and like you could just say something and then your stream like dynamically knows that you're setting yourself up for a cutaway. Like how, that would be so cool. That would be so cool. And I mean, all of the technology exists. It's definitely a doable thing. The time to do something, to spend that much time on something. I wish. I mean, you know, give me a check now for $1 million and I'll make it happen. But for now, I got a 7-4. I can't do that. But it's good to have ideas. It's good to have something to be like, maybe one day I can work on this. Maybe one day I can make this. Because then you end up having a backlog of just ideas and stories and things to do. So you never have a bored day. Back to this. Okay, so if we copy this entire div and we just plonk it down, what do we get? We get an error, so let's not do that. Okay. I'm forcing myself in this project to rely on trial and error instead of relying on, let's just chat GPT it. Because while I am not against that, like, it's a helpful tool, I do appreciate the fight of knowledge and the endeavor of human exploration, which was the theme of James May's talk that I went to last night. That's why it says James May in the title. Now, there can only be a few things here that's causing this issue, right? We know that it works. We know that it can display text. If we put something like an emoji there, I don't know, maybe like a freaky eye lip being. I like to call him Henrik. It's even scarier when he glows at you and has a lip. But what have I done? I want to have a subtext, so I want underneath this. Yes, Captain Slow James May. He I went to this. I'm so zoomed in right now. So he did this show in my city last night. It was like a 2-hour talk about the exploration of man from the early people of Africa to Neil Armstrong on the moon. And the plight of human ingenuity, exploration, passion, strength, misfortune. Can I think of 5 more? Knowledge. Others. It was awesome. I mean, I've been a fan of James May since I first watched Top Gear, and he was in it. He's always been a man of the hour. he's always been a man with that hair. But yeah, no, it was really cool to see his iconic cadence, his presentation style. Definitely started my engines. But yeah. Oh man. So yeah, I saw him, it was awesome. Like, I definitely prefer watching him on Drive Tribe on YouTube, like, where his content shines that he's honed it for so long. But also, it was an interesting kind of other side of storytelling that I haven't seen from him live. No cuts, all one take. It was good. No major hiccups. So yeah, I rate it like solid 7.5 out of 10 out of all the live shows I've seen. Okay, so we have the glowing eye lip dude, right? We'll call him Jacob the Lip. So we have Jacob the Lip here, right? Now, what I want is underneath Jacob the Lip, I want it to be a subheading. And we can chuck, like, you know, donated, oh no, like, subscribed to the channel. Right? At the moment, what's happening, though, is it's just appending it to the edge. I'm trying to have it as a H2, which is just like a subtitle. In HTML, you've got H1, H2, H3, defining different sizes of text. I want to have a H2 underneath in just Arial, not necessarily glowing, maybe some confetti. Eventually, you know, that eyelip eye Jacob bit, maybe we can try to pull in the profile picture of the person who subscribed. But Alex, why don't you just use Streamlabs? It already does what you want. Yes, but the thing is, with GSAP, if we go to their website again, and I'm obsessed with this at the moment because I think it looks so cool. We can do stuff that you can't do with Streamlabs. Like, look, all of this, right? All of this fancy animations, little bits of flair, you know, up and down, nice and easy, easing. Add personality to your animations with a huge variety. Super plug and play, eases, or build your own custom curves. Sequences and animation in a snap, scroll, SVG, text, UI interactions, Fox, Spotify, Coca-Cola, showcase. You know, if I've ever seen a freaking Fox, Spotify, Coca-Cola as good as this one, I'll eat my hat. And I'm vegetarian. Not. So... Is Jacob the lip? It's this guy. Over there. Jacob the lip. He's... Do I even have a hat? Do I even have a hat? You guys want to see my hat, do you? Well, this is a perfect segue to show you my hat. Hi. Instead of hat, I brought you my cat.
Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow.
He's just frozen still. This is Lincoln. He's a good little buddy of mine, aren't you, boy? Hey? Alright, I'll put you back. You thought I was going to show you my hat, but actually I showed you my cat. Divorce. So how do we put subscribe to this channel underneath Jacob the Lip? That is the $1,000,000 question. Because I don't know. I wonder if we can just chuck a GIF in here. Surely not. No. That would have been cool. Okay, bro. I'll see you in the next one, eh? Maybe we'll just put like a... mind blown. Let's put... Alright, I'll see you later. We'll put dog subscribe to the channel. Subtle, subtle begging. Now the real question is how... How do we put subscribe to the channel? What if we break out of this div? Where would that text live? Of course. If we make a new div. Okay, so we only can have one div in the app. Okay. So I guess our only option is to like put it here, right? Which is just gonna chuck him there. If we put it in a paragraph, where is it gonna go? Next to it. If we put in a break, Why does it not like this? This is HTML 101. React new line. Well, why is that so? Oh. Why is this not? Do we have to define text? Do we have to define text in here? Why is it just disregarding? This seems like really convoluted for like creating a new line. I feel like we're doing the wrong thing here. Solution. Alright, let's play with some of these solutions, hey? Text not defined. That's fair. Maybe there's a thing in. Let's just go back to where it was working. Okay. Oh boy. Man, this is doing me head in. Let me think. So I want to break out of the style. Because I want the subtitle to be like underneath. It's almost like... Am I facing a limitation? Or am I facing a dilemma? Oh well, that should be here. But at least the cool thing is... No, not test. Where is it? Oh yeah, we gotta... We can render it. In OBS. So that's kind of cool, right? Whatever we write here on this line of code, whatever we write here, this will show up in OBS. So that is neat. So in a way, I have done something cool tonight. What if we set the font size to like 100? I mean, I'm kind of happy we've got something working, right? So like, this is some text in OBS via Debian and other magic. So like, that's cool. Maybe we can like add a like a like, are they pre-built in? Let's just have a look at some. Is there a text? Oh, here, text. Wait. Ooh. Let's watch this video together. This might actually be something.
Hey there, today we're going to be taking a look at Split Text, one of the most popular GSAT plugins. And now, with the latest announcement, a plugin that's free for everyone to use. Split Text lets us split up an HTML element into lines or characters, basically each elements, then we split around and create all sorts of gorgeous animations effects. Split Text recently got a complete rewrite, including sensible defaults for screen reader accessibility, easy masking for reveal effects, responsive line splitting, and much more. Split Text can also be used independently of GSAT, just in case you're only after the functional text splitting and don't need animation. Let's take a little look together. Alright, so let's take a look at creating a simple split text animation first, then we can dig a bit deeper into the features. So first up, we're going to register the split text plugin. Then GSAT's core knows that we want to use it. We'll create a new split text instance, and if we feed in our element here, split text will split all of this text up into pieces. So the default is lines, words, and characters. If we open up the DOM and take a little look, you can see that everything here is all split up into pieces. We've got lines here, and then we've got words and characters. So if we want to customize this, say you want to just split by words or by characters only, we can pass in a config object. So we can define type, and then type lets us define which elements we want to split up. So let's just split by words for now. It's good for performance as well to just split what you need. More elements means more work for the browser. So we'll add a little GSAT tween here, and then we'll grab those words. So you can access your characters and words and lines on the split text instance itself, which we called split. And then we'll do a little GSAT tween to stagger them in. Lovely. So we can access lines and characters in the same way by accessing the properties where the array of elements live. So the type property accepts a comma-separated string. So let's pass in the other values, and then we'll swap this a little bit out here so you can see the different animations. Great stuff. Another way of accessing all these little bits and bobs inside your split text is by giving them a class and then targeting that. It's also a nice way to add a hook for some styling. So let's give the words a class, and you can see we've got a little border now. Brilliant. So I added some classes here so you can see the splits without us having to look in the DOM every time. So we can do the same thing, add a class to our lines using lines class, and then add a class to our characters using chars class. You can also increment your classes by adding a little plus plus to the string here. So if we look in the DOM, we can see that all of the classes that we added are now numbered. I've added a little bit of CSS here to just target specific words, so you can see that these words have a little border around them. You can also add prop index true, which rather than a class adds a CSS variable. If we look in the DOM here, you can see the CSS variables here and here. So easy selecting means it's nice and simple to set up effects like this that target specific words. So this is a part of the split text plugin, but while we have this demo ready to go, and seeing as everyone loves a stagger, let's just cover some of the fun stagger options available to you. So right now we've got a very basic stagger. We're just saying stagger the characters with 0.05 seconds in between each animation. We can write that like this instead, using the config object, which then gives us space for more options. Maybe we don't want to set time in between each animation. Maybe we want the entire stagger to last 0.5 seconds instead. We can also define where we want the stagger to start from. So right now it's starting from the beginning, but we can say end instead, or maybe center, or my favorite, random. If you put a repeat in the tween itself, the entire tween will play, then it will repeat when the animations have all finished. Or you can put this repeat and yo-yo inside the stagger, and each individual animation will repeat when it's finished. Another really fun thing to do with stagger animations is to apply some randomness to the values themselves. So we can do this really easily with GSAP's random utility. Let's animate the letters from either the top or the bottom. Note that this has got an array with 2 values in, so it's going to pick either one of these values. We can also add more rotation, so we're going to use random again, but this time we're not passing an array, so this means any value between -30 and 30. Now we'll add a little bouncies for fun, and there we go. See how easy it is to make really fun effects. You can check out more about staggers in the GSAP docs. Another thing that we have to think about when we are animating fonts is font loading. Custom fonts sometimes take a little bit longer to load in than the default fonts, so it's common for people to end up with weirdly formatted splits because the split text divides up the text before the font loads in, so the measurements are a little bit off. So if we pop the console here, we can see that split text now informs us when the text was split before the custom font loaded in, so we get a little bit of a warning. So we can make sure that we're nice and safe by using document.fonts, popping our splits and our tween in here. So this is a promise that fulfills when all of the fonts are done loading. So if we check out our console, we don't have the error anymore. Perfect. There's also a nice shiny new callback in 3.13 that ensures that your tween's created when the text splits and not before. So this callback is nice and self-explanatory. It fires when the text is split. So rather than your tween being separate like this, we can grab it and then we can tuck it up inside the unsplit callback. This is also super useful for responsive line splitting. We'll take a look at that in a bit. Split text is also much smarter at splitting than a lot of other text splitting libraries. In this demo, we're loading in split text and also an alternative text splitting library that we've seen a lot of people using back when split text was a paid plugin. So now that split text is free, maybe this will entice you to swap over. We're just going to split by characters and words for now. So if I split with split text and then revert the split, you can see that the text doesn't move at all. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. Whereas some other text splitting libraries, nested tags like this strong tag here kind of shift about. So the new rewrite of split text also handles special characters far better. If we split by characters and use this third-party library, you'll see these weird little characters pop up. This is because there are certain characters and emojis that we see visually as one character, but they're actually grapheme clusters, which is a cool name. Basically, under the hood, they're multiple code points that are smushed together by the browser into one visual character or emoji. So when we split them up, the browser just gets a bit confused. Split text solves for most of these use cases internally. So if we split using split text, you can see that we've just got the text as it should display. White space is also handled a lot better in the new version, which is especially nice when you're working with pre-tags. Working on the web means thinking about how things work on different screen sizes and if the browser resizes too. So if we split by words here, you can see that we get responsive behavior out of the box. The words just nicely wrap onto new lines as we resize. So that's the easy one, but this is the behavior that we want when we split by characters and lines too. But if we split by just characters, we can end up with some funny character by character reflows. See how the words are being split up here. I mean, this makes sense. We've broken up all of the characters into their own divs, so the browser doesn't really understand that they're words and need to be grouped together. So there's an easy fix for this. You just make sure that you group by characters and words. But in the new split text, we've also added smart wrap, which groups your words together even if you only split by characters. So that's solved, but that's the little one. It's responsive line splitting that's the real headache. Or at least it was in the past. If you've run into this before, you know what I'm talking about. So let's take a little look at the problem space in this demo. Again, if we break up the text by words, the text just reflows on resize. Lovely. But when we break up text by line and then resize, we start getting all these weird line breaks. So why is this happening? Well, if we toggle a border onto the lines and the words, you'll be able to see the issue. So you have a line container here, and when we squish it up, there's no longer space for all of the words to be on one line. So the word divs are breaking onto a new line, but they're constrained within the parent, which is awkward. Similarly, if we split it a small size and then we make the screen larger, the boundaries of our lines have already been defined, so the text doesn't reflow up into the larger space. Considering that websites need to be responsive, this is less than ideal. But happily for all of us, there's a new feature in split text to solve this. This new feature is called auto split. So let's enable this. Now that I have auto split set to true, you'll see that when we resize, everything reflows and resplits onto new lines. I'll do it a little slower. This here is the last word on the top row here, and then we make the screen smaller, and you can see it's now the first word on the second row. So what's happening under the hood is that split text is listening to a resize observer. But the solution to that called animation styles with revert, then creating a new one with any time you want. So if you have niche behavior that for some reason, or just add mask in mask, we've got class being added.
Hello.
With this issue, split text adds an ARIA label onto the screen reader.
Hello, I am a heading.
Okay, so that makes sense. But what if we parent element screen readers visually using a screen which can bloat the DOM and have knock-on performance impacts?
Okay.
Any element two, up to you.
This is a nice resource. Gotta love documentation. I'm gonna chalk. What's the freaking... What's the... Alrighty, I'm going to finish it here. I think we've had a fairly successful night. We have successfully compiled our first GSAP plugin. Woohoo. Website. It doesn't work fantastically, but it works. So I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.